absorb everything right away without really wanting to just explore the space and what was put in it. So we all collectively built all these walls and buildings and building facades, and it's supposed to meant to sort of emulate a street that's underneath a freeway underpass or a train.
I love it.
Rails, yeah, but also like just graffitied up like crazy. There's like a bodega where we're going to have like a pop-up shop, and there's a tattoo parlor and a record store and a noodle shop, and then you walk through the different alleyways where there's like floor-to-ceiling murals, and in the back of the space it's like all original artwork plus more murals plus larger paintings from everyone from Shepard Fairey, Audrey Kosaki, Deffer, Brendan Monroe, Eva Fawn, Tokidoki.
Damn, that's so
and a giant painting from like Tatiana Suarez.
And all you guys.
Yeah, and then there's like a big, and all the murals that are being painted is like Tristan and Matt, of course, WOODENWAVE, of course, but also How Nawesome, Lauren YS, Woes, Hyro Detour, Cryptic, How Nawesome, Slick, Greg Mike, WOODENWAVE, and Amy Soul, Alex Solis, as well as Galen, Super Plastic. I saw him in the room too.
Yeah, I saw him.
And installations from Slikachu, Dan Witz, Spencer Little, and outdoor murals with like Human, Apex, and Devour. And so it's like a lot. It's a lot going on,
It's
like
a lot.
The museum hasn't really done like an exhibition of this scale like ever. So it's been really. So they've been kind of scared but excited at the same time, especially when like all of us roll through here, all like hanging out and stuff.
Jasper, how did you
There's also a mural by Deffer and Rabbi too.
Jasper, I gotta ask, like,
and Aaron Dela Cruz and Andrew Schultz, Carl Powell, and Corey Tom. So that's everyone, I think.
I've gotta ask, like, how did you even present this to the museum? I feel like they must have, because like you were saying earlier, this is totally like out of their normal scope of like artwork and how they approach art and everything. So it must have been interesting to like bring this idea to them. Were they resistant at first? Like,
like we've been wanting to do an exhibition like this for years, and then we would present it to other museums like the Hong Kong Museum of Art, etc., and we would get rejected, like constantly. Every single museum had a new director come in, and she's really interested and really open to ideas, and she came on board and said, yes, you guys should take over this building and do our main summer show. And see what happens, and so they were really open to it. But the hard part was really trying to plan it during a pandemic.
Yeah.
So things that happened were like, we want to bring in different artists, but then there'll be like major travel restrictions. Like I lost so many artists trying to get them to Hawaii. So that's why most of the artists that are flying in are stateside, really. Not really any like international artists, just because of the difficulties of getting people here. Then there's like pre-travel COVID tests now, and not only that, but supplies. Like there's a shortage of spray paint, like globally.
Damn, that's crazy.
And so there's things that we would normally have sponsored. We were like partially sponsored because we had to try to buy the rest of the paints. Hotels were only partially operating, so trying to get hotel sponsors was really hard. Trying to get sponsors in general was really hard. Just trying to get funding for anything was tough because people were getting their marketing budgets cut. So trying to make this happen.
So happy that you guys pulled it off.
Could I also be in Hawaii, so
True.
We have very few COVID cases here, and everything is open here but clubs. So it seems like the safest place, one of the safest places to like do something like this at the moment.
What's a butt club? Just kidding. I'm so glad that you guys were able to pull it off, and I love that graffiti room where it looks like I didn't realize that you guys built that whole like scenario out, so that just makes it even more incredible to me. I'm so happy you guys are including graffiti in your exhibition too, because I feel like sometimes the line gets a little blurred. We had a conversation about this in the Museum of Graffiti room. They were talking about like street art versus graffiti and like what's the difference and I'm not even gonna get into that now, but I'm just saying like it's a conversation that is had. So I'm just glad that you guys included that aspect of spray can art in